The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. It is Thursday, July 20th. We are semi back in the saddle again, question mark. I am joined at this time by the other half of the Fat Siders, Fat Hall.
Hey, yo.
Mr. PTP, part-time player, is currently still at a rock concert. Like you seen Mudvayne or some bullshit. I don't know. Fuck him.
Cool.
Guar. Yeah. Good job, dipstick. The flamboyant member of this group will be here.
Maybe.
Question mark?
It's a possibility.
For those of you at home, I'm going to read an exact quote from the Clowning on Pearl group chat, which is what our group chat is here because of Ernest looking like Pearl from SpongeBob. Quote, "I'm 2 espresso martinis in, boys. This is going to be a show." That was at 8:03. It is now 10:54. We have not heard from him since 8:59. He could be 13 espresso martinis deep or living in a hole in the middle of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I don't know. I also know for sure, quote, "Do you realize I'm dating someone whose our age gap is eligible to vote?" That was another real fucking quote.
Yeah, I look, I've never had an espresso martini. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds pretty fucking tasty.
So what you're saying is, if you're still an espresso martini virgin, come Philadelphia.
Yeah,
we're getting them.
Sure. Yeah, that'll work.
All right, cool. Just to cross it off the list. Just if not, we'll get one when we're in Disney.
Yes,
we'll do it. We'll Disney it up because around that time should be one of the festivals at Epcot, which means different places to drink at, which means I may become stone cold and just be like, "What?" the whole time.
What? Yeah.
Off air, you can ask my wife about the last time I went with someone that was a drinker with me to Epcot. At one point, I just started yelling, "And that's the bottom line." So literally,
Walking up to people.
Yeah.
What's your favorite match?
Yeah, pretty much. You put me in North
Random fucking strangers.
Yeah, you put me in the
What's
North
your favorite match?
Yeah, put me in the North American Pavilion where I can drink moonshine sours and then take 3 steps that way to the Japan and start drinking violet sakis. Oh, yeah.
I'm a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just getting cranked.
Sauced. Oh, and then by the way, let me stop in Mexico for one of those 3-layered margaritas, the frozen ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love a frozen margarita, dude.
Oh, buddy, just wait. Fucking
frozen strawberry margarita.
I had a frozen sangria one.
Ooh,
like a week and a half ago. It was fantastic.
Nice.
All right. Now that the alcoholics are here on this show because
nobody else showed up.
Yeah, the other one's a bitch and the other one's listening to Mudvayne.
I'm a bitch.
That's Ernest right now. All right, so we technically have 2 topics for sure.
Yeah, and those are our topics. Yes.
Those were locked in stone earlier this week.
Early in the week, actually.
Yeah, I think I did mine almost like Monday, and I think you came back like right after, like bink, like
yeah.
We went 1-2 real quick. Before we begin, If you'd like to listen to myself and Jim talk about other things not wrestling related, you can check out the Earnestly Speaking podcast, where we rank the top 16 quarterbacks of the National Football Conference. Next week, we'll take our crack at the AFC.
That's right.
That'll be the one plug that we get.
That's right. And I think the next Huddle Up drops on Wednesday next week.
Ooh.
So
And we're back in the lab on
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah. So we're gonna be busy.
All right, we got some work to get done. But speaking of work, let's get to work. Let's get to why we're here. It is the topics for this week's show. We will start with mine. And I saw this on Facebook, and I thought, well, if there's one place we're gonna have this conversation, it might as well be here. With AEW Collision now being about a month into its run,
Ish, yeah, a little over a month.
three weeks to a month-ish. We've kind of seen that they have somewhat of their own roster.
A little bit.
Punk, Miro, guys like that. Should AEW consider adding a title? I can't say that it should be a world title, but like a title to the level of the AEW world title. Because you can't have two.
A universal title,
Yes,
if you will.
Correct.
Okay.
Because there does seem to be guys who will be on both shows, looking at you, FTR.
Right.
Then there seems to be guys that are only going to be on Collision. Looking at you, Phil from Chicago. Looking at you, Miro. Samoa Joe. Depending on what happens with the Ring of Honor television title on tomorrow night's Death Before Dishonor.
Looking at you, Colt. Ooh, never mind.
If Joe doesn't show up, maybe we should run that down as a quick third topic.
We could possibly do that. Yeah.
Just to tap on it in case Joe doesn't show up, because that was something that I was thinking about late. Like, I forgot that it was actually tomorrow. I thought it was Saturday, and then I saw the tweet, and I'm like,
whoops.
Fuck.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, guess tomorrow.
Yeah. And the title match, Claudio versus Pac.
Did they announce it as Pac?
I believe they announced it on Twitter earlier today that based off of their.
When I filled out my PW scorecard, it was still listed as to be announced.
Yeah, because it literally is like, oh, you can. One of the questions
that would make sense. It's the 2 months that Pat can come back and wrestle in the States for a little while. So why don't we give him a title?
It also makes sense because it's he walked out on them 2 nights ago at Blood and Guts.
Well, that's true.
And it just the writing was on the wall, and then we'll get back to where we were at hand. Watching Blood and Guts, the malfunction at the junction between Claudio and Pac started when they were the first 2 members of the Blackpool Combat Club team.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, when that started happening, I was like, okay, well, there's no way that they're going to coincide.
Right.
So is this the savior now that Mark Briscoe will not be able to compete in the title match? So literally that's why I was like, this just makes almost too much sense that it would be Pac. And here's what was said 7 hours ago on the official Ring of Honor Twitter page. There's a picture of Claudio Castagnoli from Blood and Guts. It says, quote, "I don't want to wait another day. I certainly don't want to wait another week. I want that bastard. How about Friday, Death Before Dishonor?"
Okay, so they announced it without announcing it.
And then Pac said, "I'll be at Ring of Honor. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to embarrass you. But more importantly than all, I'm going to take your belt." So they announced it. I think they announced it before that, and then they got the quotes. If I'm not mistaken, right here. 20 hours ago. So shortly right after Blood and Guts was over, Tony Khan posted a tweet at Tony Khan, or Tony Cocaine, for those of you at home. After their alliance disintegrated at Dynamite's Blood and Guts, the Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Pac will fight one-on-one for the title at Death Before Dishonor. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and the Ring of Honor page actually did confirm that as well earlier today. I just looked up. So okay. Because when I filled out my scorecard earlier, it hadn't changed, but they don't change it once they launch.
I literally just did mine
they don't
20 minutes ago, and
Yeah, they don't update it once it launches, because once it launches online and people start filling it out,
Mm-hmm.
if they would change it, those people would have to go back and refill that
Correct.
match out. So just creates a logistical nightmare for them.
Cool. So free points if you're filling out your PW scorecard. You know, who is he fighting? Pac.
Yeah.
The answer is
Yeah.
Pac.
Yeah, I guess I should just go in and change mine right
Take
now.
the points.
Take the points and
Yeah.
go with Pac.
Yeah. He's a bastard.
He's a bastard.
That bastard Pac.
He's a bastard Pac.
All right. Collision have its own world title. I'll let you start the Collision talk now that we've ventured off to Ring of Honor this weekend.
It's definitely a complicated question because AEW has too many titles. AEW / Ring of Honor has too many titles to begin with, right? Like we've been over that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
However, here's the thing: like if AEW could finally, and they probably won't, but if they could finally stop using Ring of Honor titles on AEW TV, I'm not necessarily opposed to the idea of a show that has its basically its own featured players, having a title that is like primarily defended on that show, and maybe just have, instead of like, because we have the TBS title, and I'm not a big fan of the names, the TBS title, TNT title,
That bitch strong.
but like maybe you have, and even like, I don't know that you want to call it a TV title, because then you would have to defend it on Rampage and Dynamite, but like maybe just have a Collision title. And I know it sounds a little funny, it's a wonky name, but like have a title that is designated to be a Collision title, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be defended every Saturday. Like it doesn't have to have the rules of a TV title, but kind of have that separation without having that separation. And but like, obviously we defend it on pay-per-views, but like that title would never find its way to other shows. Like that would be a specific title. It would never be defended on a Wednesday or a Friday. Let me put it that way. If Orange Cassidy would be on both shows, and he became the Collision champion, he could bring the title with him, because you're not going to not have a champion with the belt on a different show, but he would never like defend it on Wednesday.
See, speaking of the freshly squeezed orange one, that's the title that I think I would move to Collision.
The International?
I would make the International Championship the main title on Collision.
Huh. Okay.
Bring it up to the value of the AEW World title. The International title, it has a great name. It feels like it's inclusive. It feels like it's a title that people would want, because it makes you a desirable piece to the company, especially in foreign markets. A Phil from Chicago beating a freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy for the International title on an episode of Collision, leading to CM Punk defending that title at All In England. I think that's something. And then you get rid of the Ring of Honor World title, being defended on that show, or being around that show all the time. You get rid of the TNT, the TV title, the Ring of Honor TV title. You let those guys just do their own thing, and you focus on making the TNT title mean more.
Yeah.
You make the women's championships. You move the you can't really move the TBS title to Collision because it's on TNT, and you gave it that stupid ass fucking name. And then the women's title, you can't really move the women's world title over to Collision when Dynamite's there has always been their big show. So you're kind of stuck in a spot there. But honestly, the way I look at it right now, I would do something completely different with Collision. I would put the international title there. I'd make it the main title. And you know what? The other title that I would press on that show, the 6-man tag team title belts.
Okay.
I would make that the show where Buddy, Brody, Malachi, they're the main, because you have FTR, whatever they're doing. You can have them on both shows. They're kind of the Switzerland of the Phil from Chicago branch of the Wind. They really weren't involved in any of that stuff. They've kind of done their own thing, but they've stayed friendly with Phil. Obviously, we believe that at some point CMFTR will probably fight for the 6-man tag titles.
Oh, sure.
Probably win them at some point. Let's just peel that layer of fucking fat back. But you have optimal trios that you can have use this time to fight for the AEW trios titles. Because right now, coming out of Dynamite and Blood and Guts and all that stuff, where the hell have they been?
Well, that's the problem. You have 2 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours on Saturday, 1 hour on Friday, and you have, world title, TBS title, TNT title, women's title, international title,
Tag.
6-man title, tag title, Ring of Honor title, pure title, tag title in Ring of Honor,
The women's
title in Ring of Honor. They have a 6-man in Ring of Honor as well, right? They have the TV title in Ring of Honor. So I mean, that's almost 15, 16 plus titles. Then you also have the FTW title.
I'll say this. I think it's time to start dwindling some belts. Because if Ring of Honor is...
First off, my catalyst was with this whole thing. Stop having the Ring of Honor titles a part of AEW TV.
Correct, 100%.
They have their own show now. It is up to you to make fans to want to go watch it. Now, here I will say this, because NXT and WWE will interblend sometimes. Okay, so you don't just throw them to the wolves and you never hear from them again. But Ring of Honor should be its own separate thing now. NXT was on the network for a long time when Raw and SmackDown obviously on TV. It was up to you to buy the network to watch NXT. It's up to AEW to promote Ring of Honor to make you want to buy Honor Club and watch it on a weekly basis there. It should be separate now. Okay. So yeah, keep those titles away. Now again, every so often, if Samoa Joe gonna bring the Ring of Honor title around or whatever, fine.
I was gonna say, you bring him around, you just don't have him defend the title.
Right.
You're not gonna leave Claudio off of television because he's the Ring of Honor world champion.
But I also think they should do a better job at having Ring of Honor roster be somewhat separate from the AEW roster.
Correct.
So that you're not just constantly seeing a title on TV that you're never seeing defended, because that's a little silly as well. The FTW championship should maybe get a match on TV Friday nights once every 7 months or something stupid. It should not be a title that is practically featured the way they have kind of been featuring it as of late.
How many times do you think Hook has actually defended that title?
That's a good question.
Because I want to say it's probably 6.
But yeah, here's the thing. If they dwindle down some titles, I'm not going to be upset about it. What I will say is that if they just do a better job at utilizing their champions more. Because like I felt like even FTR, they won the titles. You didn't see them for like a month. And it's like, well, that's kind of silly. Okay, so he won it. He won it in
July
of last
27th
year.
of last year against Ricky Scabs.
He defended it against Zach Clayton on a Rampage, against Angelo Parker at All Out, against Arya Davari on Rampage, Lee Moriarty on Rampage, Matt Hardy on Dynamite,
Ethan Page on
Dynamite, Rampage on a Friday night.
2 on house shows.
Yeah, I would say I don't want to count the house show and then last night. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's defended it 8 times since winning it on TV. 8 times a year. That's once every 6 weeks.
I'm not mad at that.
It's still, I don't know. It still feels like a lot when I'm like, when was the last time I've seen the trios title? You know what I mean? Like, because it's like it's
once almost every 9 weeks.
It's the $1 million title, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's be because somebody last night had said something about how it was like a made up title with made up champions. I'm like, so like the $1 million title. Like, look, we can find things to crap on Tony Khan and AEW about.
Correct.
Let's not pretend like this isn't something that's been done in other companies before.
Yeah, it ain't hard.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you just utilize titles a little bit better, and yeah, and maybe that is sort of the thing. Is like, look, I know everybody laughs at, Raw Women's title, SmackDown Women's title, Raw Tag Team Champions, SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But guess what? Like, those titles get featured on their shows. Like, you don't have people getting lost in the sauce because there's every title's on every show.
The last time that the House of Black defended the trios titles was at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Since then, and I'm just talking about Buddy Matthews because he's who I looked up on Cage Match. He was defeated by Andrade El Idolo. And then in Thornburg, Victoria, Australia, he defended the Melbourne City Wrestling World title against Tommy Knight on July 8th. Malachi Black, since that match, has wrestled 1 match. The 5th Collision, him and Brody King as the Kings of the Black Throne defeated Artemis Spencer and Randy Myers in 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
I have no idea who that is.
Who? And Brody King, on episode 2, lost to Andrade by collision, won a dark match against somebody, and then that tag match. So literally, since Double or Nothing in the end of May, they've been there twice.
Yeah.
And it's unless one of them is hurt, which very well possible. We're not in that locker room. We don't have a fucking clip of the injury report. I don't know. But if I'm sitting here and I'm looking to do something different with Collision, what is the most different thing I have? What is the one thing that I have that WWE doesn't have? Trios.
Yeah.
I need to press that because it's different.
Yeah, like the WCW had the cruiserweights, you have trios. Utilize them. Mm-hmm. And like I said, maybe that's the thing is like have specific titles. And again, you don't have to give them TV show names. Okay. Nope. So maybe having a Collision title isn't the right choice. But like have titles that are, pretty much only defended on Saturday nights and Wednesday nights and on pay-per-views.
When WCW had the TV title, it was almost exclusive to WCW Saturday Night 605.
Yeah.
You probably knew every time you tuned in that you had a TV title match at some point on that show. So if you're telling me right now that I can tune in at whatever time that show starts or whenever I watch it on DVR and know there's a strong shot I have an international title match or a 6-man tag title match somewhere on that show, you're more inclined to get me to want to watch your show.
Right.
Sitting here and knowing that Miro is going to squash somebody and Andrade and someone are going to have a good match and the finals of the Owen Hart Cup happened. Cool. The Owen Hart Cup is now done and over with.
Refresh the page to
Who gives a shit?
Thanks, Matt. At this point, now that those are done, like, you got to get something to keep us coming back.
Who gives a shit?
There it is. You're telling me that it's the 6-man tag title. You're telling me that it's the international title is going to be exclusive to that show. You got a shot of getting me to come back more and more.
Yeah.
Because now I got to see who the trios is that's going to fight them. You know, I got to see, you know, Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, and AR Fox take on the House of Black. But guess where I'm going to see that?
Yeah,
not on Dynamite. I'm going to see it on Collision.
Well, here's the thing too. Like if they do create a Collision title, you know, like, so obviously, you know, Roman Reigns, we know the story of him and the limited number of title defenses. MJF has a limited number of title defenses. Okay, like if we're gonna treat one way, let's treat the other company the same way. If you create this Collision title, do like you're doing with Seth Rollins. Do like you're doing with Seth Rollins, where you have the Collision champion be more of a must-see fighting champion, like you do with Seth on Monday Night Raw. Have it featured every week. Make that title must-see TV out the gate. Get people to tune in on Saturday night. So yeah, I'd be fine with it if they created it, but they have to do it the right way. If they keep Ring of Honor titles on AEW TV, then I don't need a Collision title, because it's just gonna be watered down the way most of their titles are, because they're not creating any sort of a separation now anyway.
Since Maxwell has won the title November 19th of 2022, he has defended the title a total of 5 times.
Yep.
He has 3 other eliminator matches, and one of those matches ended in a no contest or a time limit draw. Actually, 2 of them did. The eliminator against Adam Cole went to a draw, and the match against Brian Danielson.
Right.
So literally, let's make the Collision title the working title. Does that mean that we put it on Phil from Chicago right away? Probably not. Health concerns, obviously. But put it on Orange Cassidy. Put it on a Darby Allin. Put it on a guy that you want to put it on Andrade. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Let Andrade win that international championship. Then give me the first feud. Face Andrade versus heel fucking Miro. And they're both fighting for international supremacy. They're both foreigners. The shit writes itself.
Yeah.
It's easy. And then at that point, then you give me the House of Black defending the trios titles against some people. Next thing you know, I got a show that I want to tune into every fucking week.
Right.
I got a show that I'm telling you is on the same level as Dynamite. The only difference is Dynamite's going to have Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang, the Cowboy, and the Bucks of Youth. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
I mean, we've sat on this show and given Tony Khan shit for things, and some of them have been deserving. Others haven't. That's okay. I've probably been the one that's waved the flag of the not deserving, but whatever. I'll be the first to admit it. There have been some things that he's done that pissed me off, but whatever. I'll make it work. But this is one where Saturday is a hard enough market to win.
Yes.
You're coming into football season. You're coming into college football season which will be on every TV in America
Yeah.
on Saturday nights. I get it. You can DVR it. I get it. You can watch it on demand, stuff like that.
Can I address like that though? Like,
But you're
'cause I
competing
keep-
then against Sunday with NFL, Monday Night Football, Raw. When are you watching that?
Yeah. I saw a tweet earlier this week, and it was from somebody that said, like, you know, did you check out the Rampage or the Collision rating? This show is an abject failure, and blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like, first off, and I have said this, I have said this when people were up their ass about WWE ratings. So I'm gonna treat AEW the same
Mhm.
way. John Q wrestling fan. Stop it with the ratings talk. Because first off, you don't understand the context. I understand that we have heard podcasts and network specials and documentaries about the Monday Night Wars, and they talked about 9.0s and 7.8s and shit like that. And first off, that's never happening again. Never. Ever fucking never. One, because the internet exists.
0.0.
Two, because there are so many people now that don't have traditional cable. Okay? I know so many people that consume Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and other shows via Hulu, via on demand. I mean, here's the thing.
Our other co-host does.
I couldn't be a Nielsen house. I have YouTube TV. Okay? Like I was one of the longer holdouts for standard cable TV. And I have YouTube TV because it's cheaper. People don't have the money for cable. And when you have Netflix and you have Paramount Plus and you have other subscription services where you can watch a lot of this stuff, or then you can find the clips of the most important things you need to see on social media and YouTube. You don't need traditional cable. And again, it's on Saturday. The network knew what to expect when they put Collision on Saturday night. Okay, the people that are laughing at the rating numbers are the same people who have been saying, "Oh, AEW's contract's coming up, and Turner's not going to renew them because they haven't grown their audience." Turner gave them a third hour after Dynamite to air the Britt Baker and Adam Cole Bay hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did it with Roads to the Top. They gave them a Friday night. They gave them, now they're giving them Saturday night. Like, if you can't tell that Turner Broadcasting or whoever owns the fucking TBS and TNT loves AEW, you are an idiot. Okay? You're an idiot. Because guess what would be on TBS on Wednesday from 8 to 10?
Big Bang Theory.
Exactly. It would be the same thing that's on from 6 till 7 and 7 till 8. It would just be reruns of the Big Bang Theory. Okay? And guess what would be on TNT on Friday night? Probably the Shawshank Redemption or Forrest Gump, because that's what's on TBS, or excuse me, on TNT, usually on a Friday night.
That tracks.
And what would be on TBS on a Saturday night? Probably fucking Twister, because that's what's on TBS on Saturday nights.
I would have said Atlanta Braves baseball, but then I would have been dating myself like
Right.
20 years.
You know, and occasionally they do air baseball, and we might see, you know, we might see it get moved or whatever, or March Madness or whatnot. But
is SmackDown moved to Fox Sports 1 this week?
Yes.
For what?
I don't know, actually.
Is it the Women's World Cup? Is the United States playing?
Probably. But
I think they play at 9:00. I think I saw that just now. I think
Fox. that sounds
it is.
right.
It is. They play Vietnam at 9 p.m.
There you go.
Hey, you want to hear the Vegas betting line for that game?
What's that?
-30,000.
Wolf.
USA minus 30,000.
Woof.
You know what, guys? I might go put 30K on him to win $100.
There you go.
USA. So bad.
But again, that's why the bloodline, the trial of Roman Reigns or whatever is tomorrow night. Or whatever the hell they're doing. They're doing some sort of bloodline thing with Roman because they want people to tune over there. And it's probably going to work. And can I tell you what? It's probably going to be more people that watch SmackDown tomorrow night than normally watch FS1 on a Friday from 8 to 10. I can guarantee you that right now.
Yep.
So, yeah, like just people got to stop with the ratings talk. But anyway.
Yeah, the ratings talk is hot duty.
Just hot garbage. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else on this one?
No, man, I think I'm good. We're at the 35-minute mark. Fuck it.
So my topic, and if you listen to 3CT this week, you already heard us kind of discuss it, although we were too busy trying to rename a plain s'more. So
I didn't get to finish listening to this week's episode.
So Tim loves a plain s'more, and what a plain s'more is a s'mores without chocolate. So it's just graham cracker and marshmallow. Okay. But we're like, dude, it's not a plain s'more, it's something different.
It's a smo.
So because we're like, dude, you basically, like, that was the challenge, is you need to find a different name for it. So
Smo.
I had told him a marshmallow graham-wich, because like that's basically what it is, right? It's graham cracker and marshmallow. But he's like, can I call it a smo? And we're like, yeah, you can. So if you head over to tpublic.com.
Oh, we got a new shirt.
/user/3count Thursday, you can get the Smo Lovin' shirt, which it's just Smo Lovin', and you got the graham cracker and the marshmallow there.
I might have to call Tim and have him create the Fat Ciders t-shirt.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he could probably do that. Because I'm a lazy slacker. But yeah, you can get the Smo Lovin' shirt in a bunch of colors, and it's on sale right now for just starting at $16.
If you don't get it in chocolate brown or a color similar to a Smo, then we may have to fight you.
You're doing it wrong. You can also get our hottest seller for this week, the what? Yeah. Shirt. The what?
Yeah.
That I think you'll recognize one of those fonts when you head over there. But yeah, our hot seller of the week. Also, if you're a tie-dye person, TeePublic offers tie-dye now up to 2x. So
wow.
A lot of our designs you can find them over there in the tie-dyes.
Can't wait to see intern Mark wear a Hershey Mark tie-dye shirt.
Oh my god, that will just break my life.
He will be the dude love of fucking 3CT.
Oh my god, you're not even the sad thing is you're not even wrong at all when you say that. But yeah, so there you go. Head over to TeePublic, get the Smo Lovin' shirt. But yeah, so the topic, we this past week, we had the anniversary of Money in the Bank 2021. So it's been 2 years since WWE returned to live touring, live shows. So I just kind of wanted to highlight some of the best and worst moments of those 2 years. Because it's kind of monumental. Obviously the pandemic era was what it was. Again, I think both companies did about the best they could. But it was great to get out of the Thunderdome and be back in front of live crowds. And Mike, I don't know. I have 6 bests and 5 worsts written down. If we just kind of want to go back and forth, I'll let you first.
I mean, obviously, I guess let's cross chalk off the board here. Let's take the Vegas betting favorite off the board. It's got to be the Bloodline stuff, right?
Yeah, that's on mine.
That's Vegas chalk, right? That's the easy one.
That's simple.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah. From the very beginning of his return, and then obviously with the whole Vince stepping aside thing, everybody's concern was, oh look, Triple H is going to come in and pull the pin on this thing and just end it. And he's done the exact opposite of that. He's cranked this bitch up to 11.
Which, by the way, anybody who thought that was going to happen, you're also an idiot.
I have beachfront property in Omaha, Nebraska. I'd like to sell you.
Yeah, you're dumb. Like, and I don't,
Stupid idiot.
I don't mean to be like mean about it, but like if you actually thought that the Bloodline story was going to end because Triple H took over, you dumb,
stupid idiot,
dumb.
Yeah. The other, I guess we'll go to a negative now. One of the negatives that I have here, and I think it just ends up being a negative because of decisions out of WWE's control, and it's the stuff with Bray Wyatt.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of those where, obviously he goes away after Mania against Randy in Tampa. And then a lot of us, including us on this show, it was when, not if, and what are they going to do with him? And we had a fun little, we had a real raw moment where Wyndham got to be Wyndham, and then we tried this thing, and I don't know that it ever really got out of first gear, and I don't necessarily know that it's anyone's fault. So that's one of those where they put a lot of time in those video packages and stuff like that.
Oh, sure, the White Rabbit stuff. You're dropping hints at house shows, for God's sake.
So, they definitely went all in on getting that stuff moving. And then the rug got pulled out from underneath them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, something missed. We don't, and again, we don't know what it is. Any of it would be pure speculation. I don't like to play that game because we don't know. Yeah, that one's certainly a bummer, man. Like I was happy to see him back. I was very intrigued by Bray getting to be Wyndham, but like being haunted by all portions of his past and new portions of his mind, or
I would have loved to seen him and Bo, Uncle Howdy, at 40, or at 39 in LA.
Do we know for a fact that was Bo?
Everything I've read was that the giveaway was the earrings.
Okay.
Those were the same earrings that he wore as part of the Miz Taraj, as part of, his Bo Dallas character in NXT. There was definitely callbacks to make it out to be Bo. But it could have been somebody else and they were just using the same earrings. Anything's possible. It could have been Bo in ring and then out of ring, they would have unmasked him and it would have been somebody completely different. We've seen that song and dance and them do that before. That would have definitely been in play. But I would have loved to see just that spectacle of his entrance at 39 in LA with the crowd the way that it was, the big Hollywood production that it probably would have been. I would have been all in for a Hollywood themed entrance for not just Bray but Uncle Howdy and where we went with that. But we got the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which somehow turned into everybody drinking diesel fuel, and basically pissing electric yellow for the next 6 weeks.
God. It so like I've even before Royal Rumble, I had started drinking like zero sugar sodas and stuff like that.
That first sip, you got 3 cavities and needed 3 root canals.
God, dude, I felt so like I drank it. We got it. I got a 6-pack for the Rumble.
Yep.
And it was me, Ryan, Matt, and intern Mark were here at my house. So we drank them. We watched it. We had gotten Chinese food for dinner. We had a bunch of snacks. All of this. We had a nice little spread. So like I felt weird after drinking it, but I just chalked it up to like I ate too much. Whatever.
Mixture of everything.
A mixture of everything. And then like a couple days later, because I still had 2 in the fridge. It's like afternoon. I felt a little tired. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I got one of these pitch blacks in the fridge. I'm gonna drink it. So like I drank it. And I drank it over like it wasn't quick. It was over like, a couple hours and like all of a sudden, man, like I felt like my hands were shaking. Like I felt like I was like, I felt like, like if you get a fever, you get like that neck sweat. Like I felt like I had like the neck sweat, and I'm like, am I sick?
Did I just get the flu somehow?
Because it's like, it's a January. I'm like, did I get the flu? I'm like,
yeah.
I got the vid. Like,
do I need to go take a test? No, I need to stop drinking fucking pitch black.
And then I started putting it together. I'm like, it's a goddamn pitch black, man. This shit's like making my fucking heart beat out of my chest. It's gonna kill me. It's gonna fucking kill me. But yeah, the whole it turned out to be a bummer. And then apparently it sounds like Bray got sick. I don't know if it was COVID related or if it was something else. And there's a lot of speculation out there. But yeah, the Bray Wyatt thing was a bummer. It was a bummer. My first one, the first thing I had down, obviously bloodline aside, is it happened the very first weekend. Money in the Bank, Roman wins. He's standing there, show's getting ready to go off the air, and we hear John Cena's music hit. And John Deere Green comes bursting out of the fucking back. Michael Cole's freaking out. Like, there's John Cena. And Pat McAfee said, I don't know, like, because here's the thing. I don't know if some people might realize this, other people might not. Commentary, despite the fact they're sitting right next to the ring, they're looking at a monitor. Okay. But sometimes commentary, you can catch them looking at the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be realistic, they're fans. They want to see real life instead of a screen. So I don't know if in that moment McAfee was looking across the ring towards the ramp and couldn't see him. No pun intended. Like couldn't see John Cena. And so when Michael Cole's like, there's John Cena, and McAfee goes, where? Or if McAfee is just so good at what he does that he's looking at the monitor and John Cena's on it, but obviously knowing the joke, you can't see me. He says, where? But yeah, man, like the surprise of that, because like I think we had all just kind of because that was always, I think that was a rumor. I think the rumor was Cena was in fucking New Zealand or some shit filming a movie, and then all of a sudden his music hits at Money in the Bank, and yeah, people lost. It was a great moment. Anytime you can get a genuine surprise, Cena at Money in the Bank this year.
Yeah,
like it's a great thing. So yeah, it was good to see. And it was a great way to cap off the opening weekend of getting back in front of fans. Any thoughts on that one?
No, I mean, that's one of those where you look up that moment in history and it's like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Like we're having that moment. It's kind of the Brock Lesnar, Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, where he came out and Cena extends his hand and he hits the F5 on John. Leading to that, like nobody thought Brock was showing up.
No,
they all thought he would have been there the night before at WrestleMania. Like they would never thought that he was going to return there. It gives me that same vibes. When you can have those vibes, those are the moments that you really sink your teeth into, and those are the moments that you're really like, yep, that's what I needed. I needed that moment right there. So yeah, definitely great that they were able to pull off a surprise, because surprises a lot of times are normally left for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And this Royal Rumble, you couldn't keep that surprise because everybody knew that Cody was coming in at 30.
Right. Yeah.
So, where you have we didn't get that shock and awe at 30. Nah, but we did have John Cena show up at the last two Money in the Banks in the most random times ever with nobody expecting it.
Yeah. My first of the worsts is Becky squashing Bianca at SummerSlam 2021. I get it. Obviously, we had the payoff at Mania the next year. It was the redemption story or what have you. And I get fighters get caught. I can see the logic in it. But man, it just it felt real weird. Like it was just such a weird thing, because like Becky comes
right after she squashed whomever too, right?
Well, yeah, because Bianca had the win. Bianca had the win, and then
Yeah, like who did she squash?
that's what I'm looking up right now.
Liv Morgan?
Bianca.
Liv Morgan?
Oh no, she did an open challenge.
That's what it was.
She did an open challenge, and Becky answered the call.
I
So
thought she actually like was supposed to fight somebody at that show.
I think was she supposed to fight somebody and somebody got hurt?
No, was that Sasha and that's when they took their ball and went home?
No, because that was
What year was that? SummerSlam what?
this is 2021. Because she had beaten Sasha Banks. Okay, Sasha had been announced, and then couldn't compete. Then she was replaced by Carmella. But Becky attacked Carmella, I think, or no, maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to read in podcast.
She was supposed to fight Sasha
Initially, yeah,
and then Sasha got hurt.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So, but it just felt weird, like Becky coming back, and then like, because like somebody of Becky's stature coming back and like becoming like a heel right away, and yeah, it was, I don't know, it felt very odd to just, it was like felt very abrupt way to end that time. I thought it cast a weird moment over that summer.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It was definitely like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, it was just kind of caught everybody.
Did the ref count wrong?
It's like that wasn't supposed to be like that.
No, one of these things is not like the other. What the fuck is going on? All right, so another positive I have, you know, I don't like how it finished at WrestleMania 39, but the story is not finished. It's the return of the American Nightmare. It's the return of Cody Rhodes. If there's another storyline that they have done perfect to a T, aside from the bloodline, adrenaline in my soul, something Cody Rhodes. The only way that gets better is if he doesn't get hurt. You know, because the summer of Cody would have probably been even bigger. But the injury and the comeback from the injury, and now this part of the story makes this story so much better. You know, I don't know that rushing him to a world title during the summer of when he tore his pec would have been as big as this is.
Right, like this, yeah. Because here's the thing, even while he's finishing his story now, he's writing his own story.
Correct.
All last year would have been him finishing his dad's story. So there's more meat on it.
Mm-hmm. He's got to finish his own story. He's got to fight through the adversity. He's got to fight through, you know, everything else. So this is literally one of those moments where,
yeah.
Sorry, my wife's getting ice.
Oh no, that's fine.
Trying to mute the microphone so you don't hear.
Like when Joe would always get ice when he was over at your house.
Like every time Joe does anything.
But like what I'll say, and because this kind of knocks out 1/2 of mine, is returns in general. Because you had Cody's return, you had Bray Wyatt's return. Again, the initial Bray Wyatt return,
correct,
was super cool. Obviously, all the stuff we just talked about. Bailey's return from injury with the return of Dakota Kai and the call up of Io Sky, like that was an awesome moment. You know, so like you had a couple surprises. You had a Carlito sighting at one point. You know, you've had a couple of surprise big match John pop-ups. So they've done actually a pretty good job. Trish Stratus returns, Lita returns. So you've had some pretty cool moments with people showing up that weren't necessarily expected to. And that's not the easiest thing to do.
Correct.
In today's wrestling world. So yeah, the returns, and even the ones that like we knew were coming, they've executed very well.
Yeah, there haven't been really many misses.
No.
So yeah, I'd agree with you on that. But going off of that to the negative, because I do have one coming off of this. They hit on a lot of things. I get it, he's the United States champion. He's supposed to be a big thing right now. But I've been very confused on what the fuck they're doing with Austin Theory.
I have him winning at 39.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 39 as a miss.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that was the perfect opportunity to get the U.S. title off of him. Let John lose it to somebody, put them over the next week or something, whatever it is, a week later or at WrestleMania Backlash, whatever it is. But he came up, he had the stupid gimmick with the cell phone. Then we decided that we were going to take him a little bit more serious. But then he's the idiot that cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on the U.S. title.
Yeah.
And then he was the idiot that lost the Money in the Bank briefcase
on the U.S. title.
On the U.S. title. And then he wins the U.S. title. And I know that they were doing this thing with Pretty Deadly, and then now Kit Wilson's hurt, and I don't know necessarily that Austin Theory is 100%. But yeah, I honestly let John have that final moment at a WrestleMania, if that may be one of the last ones that he actually wrestles at.
Sure. I think next year will probably be his last. I think doing it at a decade Mania is big.
Who does he go against then?
I don't know. That's a different podcast for a different day.
I think I have the answer.
Who's that?
The guy who he had the interaction with at Money in the Bank.
I love that. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
And here's why I have Theory winning at Mania as one of my worsts. It's because and again, I don't know if he was hurt or whatever the story was, but they didn't do anything with it.
Correct. It just died.
Like you beating John Cena in front of Make-A-Wish kids at WrestleMania is such a great heel thing to do. And you did nothing with it.
It was never talked about again.
Like the promos leading up to it, you did like the empty arena promo that I actually fucking loved because it was something different. And it's like, look, I'm doing this here now because you don't matter to me. Like I thought Theory was doing a great job in that build-up.
Yep.
And then he beats John on the biggest stage ever, and nothing. And man, I'm like, that's such a miss, dude. And like, obviously, the guy's super young. Like, he has more than enough time to have a great long career. But correct. Man, it's just a very big miss for me on that one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
One of my bests was Big E winning on the cash in, winning the WWE title on the cash in.
Yep.
And I still to this day love the way they did it. I think, and I know people like badmouthed it in the moment because they're like, why would they have him come down and cash in and then go to commercial? I'm like, because they want people who aren't tuned in to tune in.
Correct.
Like,
and how do you do that? By putting out tweets and social media posts and having friends text friends.
Cashed the Money in the Bank. Tune in now. When we're back from commercial, he's going for the WWE title. It was done perfectly. Obviously, he won it. But yeah, it just an awesome moment, a great cash in, a successful cash in. Couldn't have happened to a better person.
100%.
On the other side of that, of course, and it's not just his injury, but the Randy Orton injury. We've had a couple of big injuries in the WWE. Now we're all kind of holding our collective breath about Bayley. It does seem like she avoided a major injury from the house show this past weekend. But injuries in general, I mean, I get it's going to happen. Wrestling is what did JR say? But there ain't doing ballet in here.
Yeah, it ain't ballet.
But man, when you have Big E break his neck, I mean, he even just said recently that he doesn't know he's healthy, he's great, but being healthy and okay and in ring shape are two very different things.
Being ring healthy and being life healthy are two
Very, very different
polar different opposites.
And then of
Especially
course
when it comes to a neck.
Yeah, and of course Randy Orton, of course, had the disc surgery, which I mean, especially at 44 years old, should probably just close out the bump card there. But what a crappy way to end a unbelievably legendary career. One of the best to ever do it. So it's my hope that even if it's one more go, one more, come back at Royal Rumble, wrestle at WrestleMania, and that's where you end your career. That would be awesome. But yeah, the injuries, man, to some of the biggest players have definitely been a worst of this era.
Yeah, there's no real easy way to talk about the stuff like this. Obviously losing E, and then Kofi gets dinged up as well, and then you have the guys that we've lost. Randy, Edge was out for a little while, he was dinged up. Guys that were mainstays for a long time. It sucks. It really does suck that we've lost peak moments. I mean, even Cody's injury, it's made the story better, but we lost a solid 7 months of the summer of Cody Rhodes.
And he's not a spring chicken, right?
Yeah.
So
Not
you lost almost a year of a guy who's 30 at the time, 37. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. Especially as hot as he was, as hot as everything was coming off of his return at WrestleMania and the stuff with Seth. So yeah, no, that's never any good. A positive that I do have that I want to discuss, though, the man that is soon to break a record, the Ring General, Old Gooth.
Big Gooth.
Big Gooth.
Big Gooth.
That's a big son of a bitch. And to see the transformation that he's had from NXT UK to NXT to gotta do that. Yeah, sign me up for Gooth. The transformation that he's undergone. He went from Baby Huey to being a guy who you're like, yep, gonna get my ass kicked.
Dude, that fucking slap fight on Monday Night Raw this week, dude, made my fucking chest hurt.
And even the matches that some of the matches he had in NXT and NXT UK against the Ilya Dragunovs of the world. Those matches, like, go back and watch those. Those are matches during this time frame. If there's a 2-year window where if it ain't about Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, and it ain't about Cody Rhodes, probably about Big Gooth. The guy's about to break the Honky Tonk Man record for the longest Intercontinental title run ever. It's a pretty monumental moment that we're going to fucking see unfold. And inevitably, he's going to win a world title of some sort. Whether it's the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, whether it's the Universal Galactic title, who knows? He's winning them at one point. And honestly, personally, you want Cody to finish the story? If he ain't finishing it against Rhodey or against Roman, let him finish it against Gooth. Let Rocky versus Ivan Drago WWE edition take place. Why the fuck not? If he dies, he dies. If I chop his brains off, I chop his brains off. Sign me up for Big Gooth versus Cody for the world title. Fuck it. I think that match would be fantastic.
Like, and I tweeted it. I can't remember if it was this Monday or last Monday when I was watching Raw, but I was, and it had to be this Monday because it was after the match with the Riddle. And he puts the Intercontinental title on. He hops up in the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, first off, I thought Randy was returning. I thought it just had that. It felt like I beat this chump in 3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
nobody here can beat me. I thought we were gonna hear Randy Orton's music, but
it's true.
But he has made people give a shit about the Intercontinental title again.
100%.
Like that title was lost in who gives a fuck land for a while.
Especially after they changed the design.
Change
was
the
really who
design.
gave
It's
a
like
fuck.
bouncing back and forth between like Nakamura and like Dolph Ziggler or some shit.
And the
And we're
who gives a shit portion
It's
of the
like,
show.
what the hell? Like, what is
Who gives a shit?
what the hell is happening with this title? And then like Gunther wins it, and I was like, this has potential. This has potential. I don't want to get too excited about it. And yeah, everything he's done with it has been so freaking good.
Yeah, and the stuff that he's bringing Marcel or Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci with him, those guys have played their role to a T.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I am all for Imperium to be mainstays moving forward in the world title picture. I wouldn't even be opposed to seeing Vinci and Kaiser win the tag titles.
Not at all.
You know, give me an entire Imperium with world titles and things like that. Sign me up.
Darn right.
A negative that I do have, though, we got to see Drew McIntyre win the title in the pandemic. But Drew still has yet to really have that WrestleMania moment. And it sucks because if there's a guy who during the pandemic did everything he could to keep things going and fresh and entertaining, it was Drew. And it sucks that he hasn't had that moment to culminate the work that he's put in, from the Chosen One to being released to going to Evolve to Impact Wrestling to winning the world title in the middle of a global pandemic. It's one of those things where I personally would have, and I've said this on this show, I've said this on other shows that I've been a guest on, I would have had him win the world title from Bobby Lashley in Tampa. I would have given him that moment. I think he earned that moment. Not to take away from Bob, but I just think if there's a way that you can have Drew have that moment and then lose the title a week or two later, I'm not opposed to that, because if there's someone that deserved the moment, it was Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously had a cool moment at Clash of the Castle. Of course, did not win Clash of the Castle.
Shocking.
You're not
Acknowledge me.
You're not winning that fight. But yeah, it is definitely a bummer that his crowning moment happened in the worst of times, but again, show must go on and all of that. But yeah, definitely a bummer for him, for sure. I have one more left of each.
Okay.
My best here is the Undertaker getting into the Hall of Fame. Obviously his last match happened in the Boneyard, which to this day I still think is the best fitting end to that career. It worked out perfectly. I think it's no disrespect to Mark from Texas or Alan from Georgia, but you're not getting a all-time classic from AJ Styles versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 36. 36. You're just not. You're not. Taker, regardless of what shape he got himself in, he was beat up, man. He was beat the hell up. He had his official retirement in the Thunderdome at Survivor Series.
That's the only negative part that I truly like.
Now he's gone on record. I don't know if he's just trying to justify it or whatever, but he said that that if he would have had that retirement in front of a crowd, that it probably would have ruined the mystique of the character, because
he'd have broke. He'd have
broke. And so to his credit, he never broke in front of a crowd. I actually just saw a clip this week or recently of during fucking Over the Edge after Owen Hart passed away, that you could see Pat Patterson is refereeing. I think it was Austin versus the Undertaker,
Mhm.
and you can see Patterson shook up. You can see Taker is shook up, but he is still business, man. The guy fucking got his fucking jacket melted into his body from a pyro bomb, and he's standing in the elimination chamber, and he's still all business. So like maybe it is more fitting that he was able to do it and control it. But having the Hall of Fame, and one of the best, if not the best, Hall of Fame speeches ever in front of a crowd, was the most in the aftermath of the pandemic, was a fitting closure to his career.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the only like Hall of Fames that I really truly regret not buying a ticket for.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because he's that guy. You know, he was that guy. You know, he's always going to be that guy. So it's one of those where like me and Joe don't do Hall of Fames. It's not really our thing. Never really has been our thing. But yeah, that's the one where it's like, if it wasn't Liger, because obviously my love for Jushin Thunder Liger, yeah, like I regret not being able to be at Taker's. Like it sucked, because he was a big piece of my childhood and a big piece of my wrestling fandom.
Right.
So yeah, that one sucks, but no, he deserved every ounce and every piece of what he got. I have no qualms with the Boneyard match being the final match. You know, if he would have walked away after Brock Lesnar beat him and he was the only one in 21-1, I also wouldn't have been upset. You know, it's one of those where once he came back, there had to be another fitting send-off, and the Boneyard match was the perfect match for it to be a send-off. You know, his loss to Roman when he left the gloves and the boots and everything in the ring, and, you know, everyone was like, oh shit, this is it. I sat in, what the fuck's the name of that stadium in Orlando? Fucking not
Camping World.
Yeah, that one. I sat in that stadium. I will be the first one to admit there were tears, because that was the first time that it truly felt real.
Yeah.
That there was no more Undertaker. And I sat there for a solid 5 or 10 minutes after people started leaving, just staring out into the ring thinking, is that really it? Was that the last time that I'm going to see one of my childhood idols perform? And something as I got in that car told me that wasn't going to be it. And the match itself wasn't a great match. And I felt like if he could get himself together for one more good one, he wouldn't let that Roman Reigns match be the last one.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I kind of sold myself walking out of Camping World was, nah, that's not it. But that's not it because he's older and this, that, and the other. That's not it because I don't think Mark from Texas is going to be proud that would have been the swan song.
Yeah.
So
my last
match fits perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. My last worst, it's the one I said on 3CT, is the double wedding storyline of Tozawa and Tamina and Dana Brooke and Reggie.
Can we just lump that as the whole 24/7 title?
Yeah. Yeah, let's just say that.
Because that was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah, and thank God that thing's gone. I'll say.
And she still missed the trash can.
She missed the trash can.
Oh god, the whole storyline was awful. The whole 24/7 title after like the first 2 weeks was awful. You know, it was never anything fun. You know, we all thought, myself included, hardcore title vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Guys winning the title in ball pits, you know, airports, things like that.
Well, they did some of that at the start, like they had R-Truth winning on a golf course.
But the problem was they were doing it on fucking Twitter.
But see, I actually liked that.
I didn't hate it, but show those title changes on Raw.
Well, yeah.
Rather than showing the third earlier tonight, this happened.
Right.
Show me R-Truth winning the 24/7 title from Tozawa on a golf course on Tuesday in Florida.
Yeah. And then the pandemic happened and you couldn't get together to do shit like that.
Yep.
And yeah. And
yeah, on paper, sounded really fun. Then the pandemic happened and the whole thing sucked.
And fun died.
Yeah.
Fun died.
Yeah. I have one more
thing sucks.
positive that I want to talk about. Don't have any more negatives. The positive is real simple. Seth Franklin Rollins.
Yeah.
Real simple. The guy, if you look up MVP in the dictionary, there's a picture of that guy sitting right next to it. Because for the last 2 years, he's been the ace. You need someone to go get a win to stop a losing streak, you send out Seth Rollins. You need a guy to hit a home run in the 9th to win it, you send out Seth Rollins. Face, heel, booed, cheered, singing along, telling everyone that he hates them. He had arguably 3 of the best matches against Cody Rhodes. His stuff against Roman Reigns, where he came out in the Shield gear, to winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a great match, to the stuff that he's doing currently with Judgment Day, which we're leading into SummerSlam with. There have been a lot of guys in this 2-year window that you look at and you go, man, this guy really missed something, whether it's a feud, whether it's a match, they've missed. There's one guy that if you look at on the piece of paper that ain't missed, it's Franklin.
Yeah.
The guy's been the best thing that WWE's had going, not named the Bloodline or Sami Zayn. That because otherwise, the Cody match at Mania with Cody's return, perfect. The Hell in the Cell match, perfect. Then Cody ends up going away and, he transitions to the next things that he does and he never misses a beat. And like I said, he's gotten his flowers by winning the World Heavyweight title, being the first one of them. Inevitably, he is going to lose it, probably sooner rather than later, just the way the things are going to transpire.
Yeah, and that's good. And yeah, that's good for that title.
Mm-hmm. Because that title is going to move around.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the title that's going to make the Damian Priests of the world, the Finn Balor's of the world, more excited. And by the way, as we transition here, listen to last week's show. Ernest talking about, the last big thing that happened at SummerSlam. Guy's denser than a box of rocks. Because there's been a lot of big things that have transpired at the Summerfest. Seth versus John Cena in the main event, title versus title. Me and Joe were at that show. We were at the show the night Finn Balor won the Universal title.
Yeah, it's
like that's a night where things happen that change the landmark of what the next 6 months is going to be.
Absolutely. And I mean, I understand what he was saying in the sense that you're probably not going to see Roman lose at SummerSlam.
No, probably not.
That part I get.
Yes.
But the implication that WWE doesn't view SummerSlam as just below WrestleMania isn't the case anymore. It's a stadium show. It's huge. It's WrestleMania of the summer. It really is.
Honestly, as big of a toolbox as he is, I was expecting him to tell me that it was 1A, 1B. I truly was. And then when he went the other way, I was like, hold on, is he feeling well? He has an opportunity to use 1A, 1B here, and he's not doing it.
Yeah, and I don't know that I would even, and I'm in the defense of almost to that point, but I don't know that I'm comfortable saying 1A, 1B.
No, but it's clearly 1-2.
Right, it's in that realm, and 2, it's 1-2, and then whatever the Royal Rumble's 3. I think there's still a bit of distance between 2 and 3, because you have the Rumble matches, but you don't have there's not a great reset that can happen at Royal Rumble, because when you get to the Rumble,
You're 2
you're
months away.
you're
from,
on that road already. You're on your way there.
Yeah, and the way the schedule always shakes out, you're 2 months away from, because it's always the end of January,
Yeah.
and WrestleMania is always the beginning of April. You got 2 months. You're just trying to get.
You're
From point A to point B.
Royal Rumble is you're packing the car to go on vacation to the beach 3 hours, like 2 to 3 hours away. It's a short trip, but you're making sure that like these are the last. Oh fuck! I forgot my pillow. I gotta go and get my pillow. Like that's what the Royal Rumble is.
To me, the Royal Rumble feels like the AFC and the NFC title game.
Yeah,
We're just trying to get to the Super Bowl.
It's a great way to put it.
And then SummerSlam, it's like, oh look, we just got through the Final Four. Now we're playing for the NCAA National Championship.
Yep.
That's kind of the way I look at those. It's like, it's a big stage. Is it as big as the Super Bowl? No, probably not. But are there going to be 10 million people that are going to watch it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, right, there is.
So, I mean, are they going to fill a 90,000 seat stadium? Yeah, probably. You know, they're not doing that with Vengeance. They're not doing that with, WrestleMania Backlash. But they'll do it for Summerfest.
Yep.
All right. So that's it for that. Wrestlers of the Week.
Yeah, let's do it.
Since we don't want to daunt the Ring of Honor bullshit. Do we just want to give Joe the 2 chalk answers so that we actually have more than 4 nominees this week?
Yeah, let's do that.
You just want to give him the Golden Elite, and Dominic Mysterio?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, I'll let you go first, sir.
Give me Trinity, new Impact Knockouts champion. Look, like, I mean, it again, fairly quote unquote predictable, but Impact knows to strike when the iron's the hottest. So actually really, really smart.
No, absolutely. I saw it right away whenever the thing popped up on my Twitter, and I was like, well, it's pretty obvious that that's where they're going, but sometimes people even fuck up the obvious ones. So I'll go with a different title change from that show, one that wasn't as obvious. The new X Division champion. Give me Leo Rush.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was a fan. Jim, your final.
I'll go with 2 of our very first guests in 3CT history, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, the new women's tag team champions. 2 Tough Enough alumni. They were. So I think a redacted superstar was actually our first guest.
Wait, hold on. I gotta remember which redacted superstar this is. Fuck. I can't remember. We'll talk about it off air.
He was a guy that would have you look at it. We'll talk off air.
I'm drawing a blank. It might be because I've been drinking.
Possibly. But then I think our second and third guests we ever had were Chelsea and Sonya. Sonya was the first of the 2 because it was right when they got eliminated from
Okay. Honorable mention: no more Jungle Boy.
And Eric Jack Barry.
Yeah. By the way, horrible fucking new entrance music. By the way,
brutal.
God, Beethoven's Fifth, whatever. Fuck off. It's awful. It's so stupid. The video package worked so well, and then they went to that.
Fucking, the crowd went mild.
It did.
The crowd went mild, dude. It was just like, man, this went over like a fart in church.
Yeah. Oh, great. Who fucking just shit themselves? Oh, it was Jack. It was Jack Barry.
Yeah, it was Jack. It was
Jack.
It was just Jack.
Oh, in Italian.
In Italian.
All right. Want to plug something before we get the hell out of here?
Yeah, I mean, you know where to find me on Twitter at Big Jim Sports. Hit the link tree there. You'll find discussions with a nobody, all the Huddle Up podcast incorporated stuff, 3 Count Thursday. We have Christmas in July coming up on Tuesday, since it is the 25th. And like I said, new Huddle Up off-season episodes. One dropped last week, another's dropping this week. We're gonna look at closing out the off-season with this next set of recordings, because next month we're getting right back into it, live every week and all of that. So we'll have our college football preview shows, NFL football preview shows, and then we'll be right back in the heat of football here before we know it. So get on board now at Huddle Up Podcast, at 3 Count Thursday, and at Big Jim Sports. But yeah, man, that's what I got.
All right, you can follow the show at Take the Number 3 Wrestling. You can send your hate tweets to at EJ Christian 7. That's EJ Christian, the number 7. Always the number, never the word.
Always the number.
It was a 2-man weave tonight. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys, as always, being a small part of our Thursday evenings. But yeah, that's it, man. We're going to get out of here so you guys can go enjoy the rest of your day. Until next week, where we'll discuss more randomness that is professional wrestling, we bid you adieu from the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast.